Hajime mashite, everybody. Thank you for coming back. My name is Sinta, if you don't know me. Hajime mashite means hello in Japanese. I lived in Japan for over 9 years, so if you hear me using some of those words on occasion, that's why. It was part of what I studied. It's part of what I learned when I was growing up. It was actually my first language when I was growing up as a child, so that's how it happens, and that's where I go with the Japanese. And since it's wintertime, I think it's okay for me to wear this. I'm not doing my hair for a while. I usually dye and do my own roots, but due to the weather change and as I get older, I feel like my hair is kind of like thinning. I'm trying to thicken it up, so I'm going to keep it growing out. So in the meantime, I'm going to cover my head because that's just how I'm doing it. As you can see, it's not, my roots are growing out, and that's how it is. So I'm just wearing the cap, if you don't mind. I don't think anybody will mind me wearing something to, style it up a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to work on today, everybody's liking these beats, but they don't realize that the beats are very easy to make if you're creating things as your own loops and your own pieces. So on Facebook, everybody's hooing and hawing about how I'm doing it, but it's like nobody's listening to how it's being done. It's like they want the final product, but they're not putting two and two together. This is clearly the case. It's always going to be the case. And I see that people want more entertainment than actual learning. And it could be a good thing or a bad thing. In my case, because I was teaching, it looks like people are lazy. I think people need to do a little bit more on trying to learn how to do things on their own. You know, people want stuff, but they don't know, or they don't want to do it. They don't want to understand how it's done. So that's why I'm here, right? That's why I'm here. So this is the piece that we were working on the other day. Once again, the computer is working. Hooray! But it's not, everything needs to be added back in. So it's back up, okay? But everything needs to be added back in. I need to put my logic back in and everything. So we're going to use this in the meantime as the backup. It works. The keyboards, the instruments, you could still do it, but you need to be very delicate with how you go about doing it. It's doable. Like now that I know now that I know Logic is functioning on here on the iPad, it sort of makes it easier to make it move around and be portable. I'm sure if you have like 3 other iPads, you could probably link those up and utilize all of them in one sitting, which would be interesting. I haven't done that because I don't have another iPad available. I might eventually. We'll think about it. Computer's working. It's not set up yet, but we're getting closer. So we're going to listen to what we've done here. This was the original sound that we had. I muted it. Okay, this was the original sound we had. So we're going to just play it. Okay, so that's from, this is GarageBand. We started off with GarageBand and then we shifted to Logic. And now we can build the basic idea up from GarageBand into Logic, which is what we're doing now, okay? Okay, so now we're going to just take that out because that's a piano part. We're going to just do some beats today, since everybody wants beats, right? Okay, so now, okay, so it has, okay, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you how I did that. That's what it looks like once you open it up. There's a little, like, box, and usually on the computer, if you're using the desktop, that box would be at the top right, I believe, or the left, one or the top right. So they've placed it at the bottom, okay, of the Logic Pro. And that's how you open up your loops, okay? And it gives you electronic synth boom, drum, electronic, bass music, trap, R&B. Okay, and it has like a whole bunch of things here. So you can scroll. You can scroll that area to see what you have. And we're gonna just try. You could do some rap over this. I don't rap. I used to play drums back in the day. I was a drummer for a high school, junior high. Okay, my history in drums. I was a drummer for a high school band, junior high school band. Was it high school or junior high school? High school band back in the day. I was doing punk rock and metal. We had a drum kit. My parents decided we were making too much noise. We did a great job on the show for the day of the performance or the evening of the performance. And because we were practicing and rehearsing in my parents' house, because I was like 15, 16, my parents finally decided that it was time to move the drum kit out of the space, so they ended up selling the drum kit because it was too much noise and the neighbors were complaining and we knew nothing about soundproofing back in the day. So that's my history on drums. I also used to date drummers. I've been in bands before, so I know, even though I don't have a drum kit in hand, you don't necessarily need a drum kit to do drums anymore. You have the keyboard, you have equipment, you have all those things, unless you're wanting to do live. And then you go in and maybe consider getting an electronic drum kit. We don't have any space. This is as much space as I have to play with, so we're working with what I have. This is as close as I can get to at the moment for drum kit. Maybe one day I'll get back into it, but this is what I do for now. Okay, so let's try this again. It sounds like A flat. If you're going to do a loop, drag that loop. Was it Brooklyn? Oh, it's broken record. So you drag that loop, you send it over there. Boom. It's in. So now you're sampling the sounds. And it gives you different keys. Not a rapper. I don't do any rap. I like my R&B. I like the old school stuff. I'm not for, like, I don't know. There's some songs that are okay, and there's some songs that are just like, ugh. So, okay. Okay, so let's go back to this. And you can... Before we do that, let's organize the sounds. And then you can change it around, you can see. So this is... I know that Lil Nas and all of the other hip hop artists are using not GarageBand, but Logic Pro X in their house. So all the sounds that you see here are basically all the sounds that a lot of the people in the industry are using now because, I don't know, I guess it's easy. I mean, Pro Tools might be a little bit more professional because Sony uses Pro Tools, but Logic everybody can have in their house. It's cheaper. So what you're hearing me do is nothing different than what everybody else is doing within the industry. It's just how it is, you know? I'm just testing it out. And, you know, I have to be really careful how it cannot sound the same as everybody else's. You sort of have to figure it out. Okay, so we're gonna go back to, okay, so it's just a matter of recognizing back in 1998 and before, you had to create your own loops. This is different. You probably still could. so then let's try this then. Then we change it to A minor. A, and then scale, minor. Yeah. Not pentatonic. A, oh, look. F. It did record. So it recorded. Okay, so wait. So let's start over again. Let's see what happened here. I need to take that out. So now I'm deleting, okay? Delete. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to play that A minor just like that the whole time. So we're going to start over again. It's a piece that I worked on. Somebody else used like their vocals on top of it. This is a track, well, it's a composition I came up with for a band, and then, yeah, I like this. This is actually a really cool piece. Okay, so So thank you for joining me. I'm going to, so you need to really have, I need to have a song that I'm prepared to do to test it out. I think that is the piece. So we're going to reconvert that song into a song, I guess, to record on here, because thinking of generating an idea is going to be a little hard if, yeah, I mean, I've done it there. Maybe just reconstruct a piece on here from what I've already worked on the iPad, on the desktop. We'll see what happens. Anyway, arigatou gozaimashita. It's just playing around with Logic, literally testing it out. Everything I'm doing, it's not complete, it's not final, but I'm reusing songs and sounds and testing it out. And that's what we're doing right now. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Cinta. Join me again for another video, I guess, coming up. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you for joining me.